Imagine it's 1941 and you have a high-precision industrial-grade lathe in your garage workshop. Up until the mid-1930s, this was unheard of. In the 1930s, South Bend released a line of compact workshop lathes that turned the industry on its head. And by the time this catalog was released in 1941, they had perfected it. Machinists at the time couldn't believe that this level of accuracy could be made available to the garage workshop. This is the exact moment that the industry was disrupted, and the line between DIY and industrial was erased. But to understand just why these lathes were so groundbreaking, we have to draw back the curtain to take a look at the environment where they were born. South Bend used their cutting-edge facilities, which were previously reserved for creating large industrial-grade lathes that were manufactured to the highest level of precision on the market, and used them to create a line of small, high-precision lathes for the home workshop that were held to that same standard. As we move through this catalog, we'll see the strategic evolution of their workshop line of 9-inch precision lathes. And to start things off, here she is. This is the Model C, which was the first workshop precision lathe that South Bend released to the public. Pause here if you want to study the anatomy. Some features that stand out here are the hand-scraped V-ways, the alloy steel headstock spindle, and the precision cut gears. Every arrow points to a feature usually reserved for industrial floor models. The Model C was their entry point lathe. But as was made evident in that diagram, entry level didn't mean cheap or lower quality. It has the same headstock, bed, and spindle as their most expensive model. They didn't compromise on accuracy, they just simplified the operation by using manual change gears. And later in this catalog we will see the Model B, which came equipped with an independent power feed apron, and the legendary Model A, which was the machine that brought the industrial quick change gearbox into the home workshop. And if you stick around to the end of the video, we'll look at the accessories that were designed to turn a single lathe into a complete automotive repair shop, allowing a 1941 machinist to perform specialized engine and drivetrain work that usually required a massive repair facility. It is a level of industrial versatility you truly have to see to believe. But let's get back to the Model C. What made these workshop lathes superior to the competition was South Bend's refusal to compromise on metallurgy and hand finishing, even for these workshop-grade lathes. While other brands selling home-grade tools began to experiment with lighter die-cast metals, South Bend remained committed to semi-steel beds, using a 50% steel and 50% gray iron mix designed to absorb vibration and provide a rigid foundation. And the heart of the machine featured a headstock spindle made of special analysis alloy steel, carburized and hardened to 56 to 61 Rockwell hardness. This was the exact sweet spot to make it so that the spindle is virtually wear-proof against the cast iron bearings, without being so hard that it was brittle and prone to breaking. And most importantly, these machines were finished by hand. The V-ways and saddle bearings were hand-scraped to ensure a degree of alignment and oil retention that mass-produced machines simply could not replicate. As we move into the Model B, we see the introduction of the automatic apron, a feature that fundamentally changed how a machinist interacted with a small-scale lathe. Unlike the Model C, which relied on manual cranking or the wear-heavy use of lead-screw half-nuts for all movement, the Model B utilized a sophisticated worm drive mechanism. This allowed for power longitudinal feeds and power cross feeds operated through a friction clutch. It gave the 1941 machinist the ability to step back and watch the machine work, while it effortlessly achieved a perfectly smooth, consistent cut across a face or down a shaft with the flip of a lever, resulting in a surface finish that was impossible to achieve by hand. But the real brilliance of the Model B lies in its preservation of the lead screw. By providing an independent power feed through the apron's worm gear, South Bend ensured that the lead screw was only used for its intended purpose: precision threading. This design choice, which was usually reserved for much larger industrial machines, meant that the accuracy of your threads wouldn't be degraded by the thousands of hours of general turning performed in a busy workshop. It offered the precision of a tool room lathe with the durability of a production workhorse, making it the ideal middle ground for the serious 1941 machinist. And now for the legendary Model A, the machine that truly made competitors panic. If the Model B was the bridge to professional work, the Model A was the destination. This was the machine that removed every remaining barrier between a machinist's intent and a finished product. By combining the power feed from the Model B with a revolutionary internal gear system, South Bend created a lathe that didn't just work harder, it worked faster and smarter than anything else in its class. This internal gear system was their quick-change gearbox. This put an end to the era where a small lathe operator was required to stop, unbolt, and swap out greasy loose gears for every different thread pitch. The Model A offered 48 different screw threads and power feeds at the flick of 2 levers. The transitions were instantaneous. It represented a shift from fiddling with a machine to actually producing with it, bringing factory floor speed into the home workshop. But the Model A wasn't just about speed. It was about the synergy of the quick-change gearbox and the automatic apron working in tandem. This combination gave the operator total control over the tool's movement with zero downtime. Whether you were chasing a fine thread or engaging a heavy power crossfeed, the Model A responded with industrial authority. In 1941, this was the ultimate version of the 9-inch workshop lathe, a machine so well engineered that it allowed a single man in a garage to compete with the accuracy and efficiency of a professional machine shop. And on page 37, we saw the ultimate pinnacle, the tool room lathe. This came with the collet chuck, taper attachment, and thread dial indicator as standard. This was the dream machine. If you had this in your basement in 1941, you were arguably better equipped than some professional shops. But within this section of the catalog, we see just why these machines were so dominant. South Bend wasn't just selling lathes, they were selling a system. From the versatile milling attachment that transformed the lathe into a vertical mill, to the specialized fixtures for automotive engine rebuilding, these features represented a shift in history. These lathes weren't just machines for making parts. It was a complete industrial solution for the automotive age. By utilizing specialized equipment like the armature undercutting attachment, the piston finishing fixture, and the connecting rod boring tools, a machinist could transform a small home workshop into a high-precision automotive service center. In an era when cars were built to be rebuilt, this section of the catalog proved that with one 9-inch lathe and the right attachments, a single operator could perform the same critical engine and electrical work as a massive factory service department. But the real secret to South Bend's success happened outside of the design room and the manufacturing plant. South Bend operated a revolutionary testing and measuring department, which was dedicated to ensuring not a single part would leave their facility until they could verify that it was perfect. The very same facilities that were previously reserved for inspecting large industrial-grade lathes to ensure that they were manufactured to the highest level of precision on the market were now being used to make sure that these small workshop lathes were held to that same standard. Master gauge blocks that were accurate to 5/millionths of an inch were used to verify every production fixture. Every lead screw was tested for error using optical measuring equipment, and the headstock spindles were checked with a supermicrometer to ensure they met a standard of the highest degree of perfection. This 1941 catalog captures a definitive turning point in industrial history. South Bend proved that a single person, armed with a 9-inch lathe and the right accessories, could match the capabilities of a high-grade manufacturing facility. And they were built so well that now these 90-year-old vintage lathes still remain in high demand, giving small workshops across America the ability to create virtually anything they need with confidence to this day. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing for more vintage tool history every week.